What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing the ultimate glute workout, and it's your lucky day because if you don't like squatting, we're not doing any squats. Let's just jump right into it. So we're going to be starting off with our dynamic stretching before we get into the main workout. So the dynamic stretching is very important before your leg day because you want to warm up your muscles, get the blood flowing, loosen up those hips, etc., etc. It is just so important to not skip it. I know we're all guilty of skipping our warm-ups, whether that's for upper body day, lower body day. I do it too, but this is your sign today to do a quick 2-round circuit, which we're about to do now, and to not skip your warm-ups because this takes literally less than 5 minutes. So the first exercise that we're gonna do are 10 reps of deep squat to extension. So what does that look like? You're gonna grab your feet here and you're gonna do this. You're gonna extend like this, feel the stretch in your hamstrings, and then sit in a deep squat. And when you sit in that deep squat, you wanna keep your back, spine, and neck super neutral. And this is to really stretch out the hamstrings, untighten your hips. So for the next exercise, we're going to do 12 reps of hip 90-90s. So it's gonna be like this, like a staggered position like this, and then we're gonna flip to the other side. You don't wanna feel tight in your hips, or you don't want your hamstrings to feel super tight when you're doing a leg workout. So that's why I really stress the importance of stretching before. And after the hip 90-90s, we're gonna stand up and we're gonna do hip openers as well. We're gonna do 10 reps per side. I used to call these curtain openers because it's like you're opening a curtain. If you can't maintain your balance standing in one spot like I am right now, you can hold on to something just to keep your balance while you do it. And for the last exercise, we're going to be doing low lateral lunges. We're gonna be doing 20 reps, and it's just gonna be alternating. So it doesn't need to be each side because you're alternating the 20 reps. So you're gonna get into a wide position and you're gonna get down low into each lateral lunge. You should feel the stretch here in your inner thighs, which are your adductors, when you go down into each lateral lunge. And this also loosens up the hips. It's great for your ankle mobility as well. Getting into that low, deep lunge, sitting into that ankle. All right, guys, now that we've completed our warm-up, let's jump into the main workout. So the first exercise of our workout today is going to be a superset. One thing about me that you'll notice as I post more workouts on my channel is that I love supersets. I love doing high volume stuff. So don't be shocked that we're starting off with a superset. It's going to be a cast glute bridge and dead stop barbell hip thrust superset. So we're going to do 10 reps of cast glute bridges, which is a half range of motion in comparison to a regular hip thrust. And then we're gonna go with no breaks. We're gonna go right into 6 to 8 reps of a dead stop hip thrust, which is like, a dead stop is just a regular full range of motion hip thrust, but you're dead stopping the bar at the bottom. So like the plates will hit the ground and you'll like redo the movement without, like, usually in a regular hip thrust, you wouldn't like dead stop. Like you wouldn't like stop the momentum, but with a dead stop, you're stopping the momentum and kind of have to like reset and drive up again. So it's more of a power movement than in comparison with just a regular hip thrust. All right, so now that I've explained what we're doing, let's just load up the weight and get right into it. Okay guys, so before we jump into our warm-up set, I did want to explain, if you are short like me, I am 5'2", so the regular benches at the gym, I don't hip thrust on because it doesn't give me that 90-degree tabletop position that you're supposed to be in when you hip thrust. When you have the proper heighted bench, your lats and just below your shoulder blades should be sitting on the bench. As you can see here, this is way above my lats. This is literally my upper shoulder blades. Like it's almost on my traps. Like that's how high this is on me. That means when I'm trying to get the weight up, I'm gonna overcompensate with my lower back because my shoulder blades are way too high on the bench. I'm gonna overcompensate, and imagine there's heavy weight here. Me trying to like get it up just to get where my back positioning should be on the bench. Like I had to do all that just to properly get the positioning of where my back actually should be. Once I get to the right positioning here, you can see how the angle, it's just the slightest, but the angle is not 90 degrees with my knees. The angle is slightly going downwards. If you use a bench that's too high for you, you're more likely to injure yourself and you're gonna sacrifice form. What I do is I get a step-up box and I set up the stackables. For my height, I'm comfortable with about 4 stackables. I put 4 or 5, that works for my height, I'm 5'2", and then that is my makeshift hip thrust bench. Okay, let's just do our first warm-up set. So remember, it's 10 cast glute bridges right into 6 to 8 dead stop hip thrusts. So like I said, a cast glute bridge is a half range of motion. And then without breaks, you're going to go right into the dead stop hip thrusts. And there. Now we're gonna add on some more weight and do our 4 main sets of this superset. Okay guys, so here's our first main set out of 4, and same thing, 10 cast glute bridges right into 6 to 8 dead stop hip thrusts. This should be your main weight now. Without breaks, right into the dead stop hip thrusts. It's not easy at all, but oh gosh, is it one of the best exercises for growing your glutes. So once you've completed 4 sets of this, we are ready to jump into the next exercise, and that is going to be barbell RDLs. So you don't have to move far from where you were after hip thrusts. We're gonna be right here in the same area. Just move the bench out of the way. Grab yourself the bar again and load it with a light weight. Obviously, if you're a beginner, I would say maybe just start with the barbell itself and an unloaded bar. But if you're not a beginner and you just need to start with a lighter weight just to get like the warm-up set in, I just load either a 15-pound plate or a 25-pound plate on each side as my warm-up weight, and I'll do about 1 set of 12 to 15 reps before I actually jump into my 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps. We are doing a glute-focused barbell RDL, and the difference between a glute-focused and a regular RDL is that the glute focused, I'm not going too far past my knees. I stop just past my knees like this, and then I come up. And I'm bending my knees a little bit more than you would with a regular RDL, which is more hamstring focused. This is more glute focused, so there's more bend to the knee. As if you're pushing a door open with your glutes when you bend over. And then once you feel that stretch, you come up. You want to keep your spine and neck neutral at all times. And you want to be scraping your shins with the barbell. Now that we've loaded on our main weight, let's get into our working sets. It's going to be a total of 4 sets, and you're gonna do about 8 to 10 reps. I have my lifting straps on because, like I said, and I'll always say this, when it comes to your grip strength, cave in and get the lifting straps because you don't want your grip to affect the actual weight that your muscles can lift. And let's go. Nice, guys, good job. Okay guys, getting our last compound movement out of the way before we get into more of our unilateral movements and our isolation work, we are doing a sumo deadlift. This is kind of controversial because some people would say they would prefer a conventional deadlift on leg day. That's not for me, because if you want to go watch my other video, which I can put right here, I put my conventional deadlifts on my back days. So if you want to go see my back day, go watch that. But on leg days, I like to put my sumo deadlifts, especially on the days that I don't do barbell squats, which we're not doing today. So our next compound movement of choice is going to be sumo deadlifts, which works the adductors, but I find it really, really helps with growing my glutes as well. So you can underhand grip, like do a supinated grip with it, or you can do a pronated grip. Very much so externally rotated, like an exaggeration of externally rotated. That's the point of a sumo deadlift. Conventional is just like straight and together, where you deadlift like that. RDL is like this, right? But sumo is like the exaggerated, like outward. That's why it works so much with the adductors as well. Some people stand wider, but I find when the wider you stand, the more adductor it is and the less glutes it is. So I find that kind of like nice in between, where it's like I just go outside the smooth part here of the barbell. Like I just step outside of that, but I don't go like further than that. That's too far. All right guys, so for our second last exercise of the workout, we're going to be doing dumbbell elevated reverse lunges, and we're gonna be doing that per side. We're gonna do a total of 4 sets again, and I'm gonna be doing about 8 to 10 reps per side Sometimes I do 10 to 12 depending on the weight, depending how I'm feeling that day. Today I'm feeling a little stronger, so I'm gonna do 8 to 10 reps with a bit of a heavier weight. So I'll show you guys over here. With an elevated reverse lunge, you can either set up a step-up box, which is fine, I do that all the time, but sometimes I just want a mini elevation, so I'll just place a 45-pound plate on the floor because it just gives me that just little bit of extra elevation compared to just being, you know, like a standard reverse lunge. Sometimes a box will be just a little bit higher for that deeper stretch when you go down into the lunge. I don't want that much of an exaggeration of a deeper stretch, just a little bit. So I've just added a plate and it just gives that extra, just that much more of a stretch, but without it being like too heightened and too deep of a stretch. So I'm just gonna start. And we'll do the next leg. I like to place my unilateral exercises towards the end of my workout. I always start my workouts with compound movements and then my unilateral movements, which are like single leg or single arm movements. I put them towards the end, and then typically if I am adding isolation work, the isolation goes at the very, very end, like the last exercise. Conveniently, we just finished our dumbbell elevated reverse lunges, and our last exercise will be on this leg press. So waddle on over here, see? And I'll put that away, okay? I always put my stuff away, but just conveniently it's right here. So now, oh, and look, someone left their weights on the machine. In this case scenario, I love this because this is the weight I was gonna use anyway. If there were 5 plates, I'd be pissed. But anyways, we are doing a leg press superset to finish off the workout. It's going to be B stance, a B stance leg press per leg. So what is that? Staggered. So B stance is anything staggered. So one foot is just supporting the working foot. So my working foot is obviously the flat foot on the leg press. And the B stance here, like the supporting foot, is just kind of on its tippy toes to support the weight so that it's not just like a total single leg movement. So yeah, so I'm doing a B stance leg press per side. So I'll do 10 reps on this side, right? I'll do 10 reps on this working leg. Without any breaks, we're gonna go right into 8 to 10 regular leg presses. So after you've done each leg, no breaks, go right into 8 to 10 regular leg presses. It's pretty brutal. Your legs are gonna be exhausted, especially when you load on the weight, but it's a great burnout for leg day, and your glutes will be fired up. I'm a short person. In the gym world, it is a bit of a struggle especially with machines, okay? So this is how I unload as a short person. I get it started. So I do a calf raise here at the tip. I scoot my bum just a little bit forward, not too much that you're gonna hurt your back. Just scoot it just a little bit to the point that you can do a calf raise. And then you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna crawl up to where you need to go. And then squish your back all the way fully into the seat again. Get comfortable, find your positioning. I place my supporting leg there, my working leg there, and then you go. Notice how I'm not locking out my knees. Never lock out your knees on leg press. 10. So we're gonna do a total of 4 sets of that superset, and then we're going to do our last thing, about 12 minutes of Stairmaster to finish off. And then we are out of here. So now that we've completed the main workout, we are going to finish off with some Stairmaster. So we're gonna do 5 minutes. I like to do this thing where I do 5 minutes, no holding on. So just walking steady at a steady pace. So this 5 minutes is just steady. You don't need to hold on to keep your balance, keep your core engaged. After that 5 minutes is up, we're gonna up the speed to about moderately / fast. And we're gonna do 2 minutes holding on. The speed is now more intense, and you're allowed to hold on for these next 2 minutes. After that 2 minutes is up, you're gonna do 2 minutes at an even faster pace, not holding on. Hands on the hips, core nice and tight. And we're gonna do that next 2 minutes with not holding on. And then Once that 2 minutes is up, the final 5 minutes, you're gonna go back to that steady pace that you were at the start, which for me is about level 9, level 10. You're just gonna steady walk again, not holding on for 5 minutes. So that is a total of 14 minutes on the Stairmaster, and it'll go by so fast because it's circuit style. You're doing 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and then you're done. That's how I like to do my cardio. I like to do it in short bursts throughout the week, in increments of like 10 to 15 minutes tops. And I don't even do it every day, but that way I'm able to spread out my cardio throughout the week without it feeling so tedious and like, oh, like, you know how some people are like, oh man, now I have to do like 45 minutes of Stairmaster. No, like I would never do that. So I do like 10 minutes here, 12 minutes there, 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there throughout the week of some sort of cardio. And today's choice is Stairmaster because it's fitting since we did legs, well, glutes. Well, that's it for today's YouTube video, guys. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And if you want to see more glute workouts like this, comment down below. I'll see you guys next time.